there was a wrestler named MVP, and he had an entrance theme that was funny for a lot of reasons. First off, it was called "I'm Coming," and the chorus does not disappoint because it's just "I'm coming." But the entrance video itself is just like videos of him posing and like of his name. But there's at one point the video plays out one of the lyrics, and it's so weird. It's not "I'm coming." It's definitely not that one. But at one point in the song, he goes, "Like Tropicana, I got the juice." And during that point in the entrance video, it's the only time it doesn't show his name or him posing and looking cool. It shows someone pouring a cup of juice.
Sure. You know what? Actually, no, that's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant.
I love that. Holy shit.
There's a game I used to play called Dead by Daylight, and
that's the joke.
That's the joke. Ha ha ha. The devs have made a joke of it. No, but they licensed Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Oh shit!
To be in the game, and upon release, everyone rushes to try out the new killer. New DLC content. And one of the mechanisms is someone finds the box, the puzzle box thing.
The lament configuration?
Yeah, thank you. The lament configuration. And when they solve it, or as they're solving it, Pinhead can teleport to them. And if you do that, he says, "You opened the box," or "You solved the box," then teleports. And then when he arrives, he says, "I came." Entire player base fucking just exploded on that, and they had to remove it for a while for PR reasons. And I was so pissed off, and they put it back in.
As someone who has seen the movie and read the book, that's perfect. It's actually perfect.
It's on theme.
I know that they also I heard something about Dead by Daylight, which I've never played, but I've read enough about it that in the promotional material for them making Pyramid Head a character, he had a thick ass.
Yeah.
And when the character debuted in the game, he didn't have it. So there was an outcry, and they gave him a thick ass in the game.
Yeah. He had actual definition on his ass, and in game it just didn't render the same. And so a bunch of people complained, and they put it back in.
This is amazing.
Welcome to
the community for Dead by Daylight.
I too play video games for the ass.
The community for Dead by Daylight is just so horny for all the killers, because most of them are just giant hulking men. So yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Welcome to Undercooked Ass analysis. I don't know.
Ass now.
Ass analysis.
Analysis.
Undercooked anal. We're going to do a deep and meaningful analysis of the Lair of the White Worm by Bram Stoker.
Oh man.
Oh,
okay,
boy.
what happened?
Oh,
we're at a party.
I don't know.
We've been at a party for 3 chapters.
Okay.
And it's just who's who.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I should say the gang's all here. It's been, and forgive us if we don't remember everything that happened. It's been...
All I just remember is that the
months.
youth was craving that sweet old man knowledge.
Ugh.
Oh, and
Right.
racism.
I feel so dirty having heard you say that. That was gross.
Well, okay, not that everybody needs, but I'm going to round table it real quick here. We got the usual suspects. We got Kayla.
Hi.
We got Sade.
Hello.
We got Alan.
Hi, my cat's freaking the fuck out.
Oh boy. We got Paprika.
Acknowledgement.
And we got Bisme.
Duh.
And I'm here too.
Hi, here too. I'm Dad.
I'm
God
sober
damn.
for this episode, so we will see if I'm more or less angry.
Oh yeah, we'll have to talk about the drinks that we came up with from last time. But before we get to that, it should be acknowledged that it's been a few months.
Mm-hmm.
We have all been busy dealing with existence in general.
With life.
So we might have to work together for a little bit to refresh our memories about what came before. I will happily try to lead the summary of what we're doing, but just in case you haven't listened to the first couple parts, it would behoove you to go back and listen to those parts.
Can I actually introduce my drink real quick?
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
go for it.
It's been sitting out, and I want to drink it so bad.
Okay, go for it.
I made a what I am calling a snake bitten mongoose.
Hell yeah.
For those of you unfamiliar with the idea of a snake bite, I have in a beer mug layered both woodchuck hard cider and Guinness.
Nice.
And that's the snake bite there. The mongoose is this shot of Evan Williams honey that I am going.
Honey?
Yes,
Like
Evan
honey.
Williams honey.
Yeah.
That I am
What
going.
makes it Evan Williams?
Because it's his.
Dear Evan Williams.
My dear Evan Williams. How long to be the honey?
That I am going to drop into the beer and then drink all of it as fast as I can.
Do it.
Why do you do these things to yourself?
This is a bomb. This is what you do. This is a tried and true thing.
I thought I like
right.
enjoying what I do.
I'm about to enjoy the shit out of this.
All right,
Anyway,
go, Alan, go.
Let's have our first snake bitten mongoose, sinker and drinker.
Go, Alan, go. Go, Alan, go.
Alan will report when he has finished.
Now Alan is drinking.
Wow.
Well, that was quick. Damn.
How was it?
It was fucking phenomenal, actually.
Oh
is,
my
is
god.
it like just a beer glass or like a pint glass?
It is a mug.
Okay.
As is often the case with these, recipes will be shared
Yes.
around shortly after the release of this episode.
It was creamy and appley and honey-y. It was perfect.
And Evan Williamsy.
And it also got into my body very fast.
Nice.
Do you have a picture?
I'm going to make more.
Okay, fantastic.
What eats do we have potentially? If anyone's got eats that were inspired by the previous episode.
The idea that kind of Sayed and I came up with was, mostly Sayed than me, is bacon wrapped asparagus with cooked russet potatoes, and that would be like snakes and rocks because
A pile of rocks or a pile of stones and some snakes.
Yes.
I recall I don't even know if it was fourth or third chapter, but there was a lot of rock. There's a whole rocks and
They
snakes.
came upon a pile of rocks. Some snakes came out. Lady Arabella showed up.
We were so excited because it seemed like something was finally happening.
Yeah.
and then the story got like racist.
Oh yeah, for like a couple paragraphs, and you're like,
Because they introduced a stereotype character that we gave a different name.
Wait.
I think we were
I
just
don't
going to
remember
call
the
him
We're,
Todd.
we're probably gonna have to rename him.
Yeah, when he comes up, he's just going to be. What did we have before?
I don't remember.
I said something about let's just call him Todd.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to call him
Let's do
Todd,
Todd.
regardless. And when we go back, we're going to kick ourselves because there's not that this story has any continuity either, but
And if it's possible to skip parts of the the racist parts, I think we might.
we might. It just depends. We kind of have to accept that this is painful because this is Bram Stoker's. Summary time. This is Bram Stoker's worst story that he's ever written.
Not just worst story, but this is considered one of the worst horror novels ever written.
It's certainly pretty bad right now. Nothing remotely horrible has actually happened, and mostly it's just people talking about history.
Nothing's happened at all.
Yeah, that's true. Basically, if you want to try and give it some context, man from Australia, our main character, Adam Salton, decides to go live with his great uncle in England. And
he thinks is really cool.
Yeah.
really cool. And
They both
might
love
be
horses. I
They
think I
both
remember
love
that.
fucking horses.
They love horses. They love talking about the Romans, ancient Rome, and all that stuff, and the people who came before in the regions of.
It's not until I've heard you just now, try and summarize the last 4 chapters we've read, that I've realized this really fucking sucks, huh?
Yeah. Well, there's this whole gossipy thing about hey, this guy is returning, and they make a whole big deal, but then
They talk about, his family's spooky and shit, and they're probably distantly related to these ancient people that lived here, so therefore they're scary.
I listened back to the ending of the last episode we did just to remember where we were.
Uh-huh.
And I just want to say that near the end, someone says something to the effect of, well, let's have a long conversation about this later, and you can just hear all of our souls break.
And then we have Lady Arabella, who
They introduced her, and she's the villain.
we think, at least we think she is.
Probably.
She's the villain. She already has a connection. We think she's the White Worm so far.
Yeah, or like some avatar of it, or
Oh,
some
well,
link.
weren't they like super like coding her as a vampire or something like that?
As a snake, because
Oh,
like,
snake.
she
Snake, right.
emphasized her S's via sibilance.
Oh, and then Adam Salton bought a mongoose and had the same conversation twice. What
Oh
did you
my
buy?
God.
A mongoose. What for?
It's essentially, this has just been fetishizing a bunch of old men and one young man traipsing around England and explaining inconsequential history, and then going to a party, meeting
Right.
Lady Arabella.
Sorry.
Now
Yeah.
now they're at the party and they're just talking about what's his face is going to come by, and it's going to be revealing and incredible, and just it feels like the ramblings of a madman who's
Oh, and
just
then-
like writing the same thing over and over again.
More, I think also important to mention is the old fetishizing their usefulness to the young.
Yes, because our main character just goes along with whatever.
Yeah,
That's
he's
a
like,
great idea.
"Ah."
Sure, I'll
He's
go.
like, these guys are totally badass and cool.
It's
He has
also
no agency.
it's also fetishizing the rich a lot too.
Yes,
Mm.
the rich and lineage and just all of that crap.
there was also a weird at the end of it. We meet Adam's quote unquote possible heterosexual lover. In which
Mimi Watkins was that name?
well, the creepy part was like the oldest one was
Watford. Mimi Watford.
just over 20. The youngest, however, was gorgeous, and I'm like, ew. The youngest, younger than 20. Ew.
Oh, and they make a big point of pointing out that she's like half Burmese.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because of
it's
course.
just everything about it is just gross.
It's gross.
It's either gross or insipidly boring.
Yeah. So
Them's your options.
That's why we're continuing, apparently.
yeah, we made a promise because we're not enjoying the story, but we're enjoying each other enjoying the story.
Well, there's that.
No. We're enjoying each other suffering through the story.
Okay,
Which is
fair.
also what the
Touche.
audience.
It's an
will be
excuse
enjoying.
to get together.
And drink. I'll say I don't have a fancy drink, but considering they were talking a lot about far off locations, I have a mango cart because it's mango.
Sure.
Anyway, whatever.
So the next chapter is chapter 5, the White Worm. Oh shit!
Wow.
Are we actually going to talk about the White Worm?
I
Probably.
doubt it.
Not.
No.
Probably not.
All right. So
Should we get a reading order established?
yes, please.
Yeah, what's the over under on anything actually happening in this chapter?
Yeah. Kayla,
What?
since this was your brainchild was reading this.
I hate
this
the
novel.
fact this is considered my brain.
Oh, I would, but I'm still grateful for it.
Sure you
honestly,
are.
no, I am. I can't speak for anyone else, but I am. So, would you like to take the first paragraph,
Sure.
and then we'll draw lots for the rest?
All right. Mr. Sultan introduced Adam to Mr. Watford and his granddaughters, and they all moved on together. Of course, neighbors in the position of the Watfords knew all about Adam Sultan, his relationship, circumstances, and prospects.
Because all they do is fucking gossip.
And by relationships,
I'm glad
they-
you read that correctly because my
Who
brain.
is who again? I forget.
It can't matter.
Okay.
Adam,
Let's-
People
we
at
got-
the party.
Hold on.
Adam Sultan is our
Our
character.
young quote unquote protagonist. Mr. Sultan is the great uncle.
that
Right.
That's also his father, apparently, because
That's-
of this
Who's
thing. Like, I want you to
Watford?
think of me as your father.
that is also comes across as like a gay incestuous lover too, but
Mm.
Mr. Watford is Michael Watford, who was introduced in the previous paragraph, which is the end of the previous chapter of, also, you need to talk to Michael Watford.
Oh,
Who's
right,
just
right.
literally being introduced because he's supposed to contribute something.
He owns a castle? No.
What
does he do?
One of the tenants of Mr. Caswell. Who's Mr. Caswell?
Mr.
think
Caswell is the mysterious guy who
Oh, is that the cool guy? The
He's the
camera
guy-
was like, you know, history.
I'm remembering
No,
now.
wasn't
like,
that Nathaniel, the third guy
Yes.
that they all share
Okay.
the bed together? I don't know.
I remember when
Nathaniel-
They're
someone.
Nathaniel.
So
Right.
Nathaniel's not a Caswell, though. He's a Caswell is the guy who showed up on the boat to reclaim his family's land.
I remember when someone read that out, the old man is Michael Watford. One of the tenants of Mr. Caswell, I think I audibly said, "Shut the fuck up." That was the last straw of just people entering this scene that have no relevance.
I think the idea is Mr. Watford is the grandfather of the two women. One of them might most likely becoming Adam's love interest.
Sure.
Okay.
I just I literally thought it said Mr. Salton introduced Adam to Mr. Watford and his granddaughters, and they all moved in together.
Well, that would have been something happening.
I was about to be like, did this story just jump like way ahead?
They started a commune, apparently.
Well, they started with a duplex and then worked their way up.
All right. So it would have been strange indeed if both girls did not dream of possibilities of the future.
What?
In agriculture England, eligible men of any class are rare.
Oh, right. Because Adam Sultan is an eligible bachelor.
He's the
Yeah.
last bachelor in England or something.
Confirmed bachelor, I think.
Yeah.
Remember, he
Sure.
owns like 1,800 horses or something
right.
like that.
In Australia.
In
I remember
Australia.
when they went to that world in Kingdom Hearts. Hello, Bachelor.
This particular
Sora.
man this particular man was specially eligible, not just eligible, specially eligible, for he did not belong to a class in which barriers of caste were strong. So when it began to be noticed that he walked beside Mimi Watford and seemed to desire her society, all their friends endeavored to give the promising affair a helping hand. When the gong sounded for the banquet, he went with her into the tent where her grandfather had seats. Mr. Sultan and Sir Nathaniel noticed the young man did not come to claim his appointed place at the
Dais.
table. What's it? Okay. What's
There's an accent mark
Raised
there.
table.
It's a raised
okay,
table,
got it.
yeah.
Thank you. But they understood and made no remark, or indeed did not seem to notice his absence. They were disappointed because they thought they had something special with that.
Wait, when they noticed that he wasn't there, they seemed not to notice that he wasn't. That's in the same sentence, Bram Stoker.
Notice it did not.
They pretended not to notice after they noticed. I
Indeed,
guess.
did not seem to notice.
Did not seem to notice, even though they did notice. Wait, what?
So,
Huh.
friendly reminder that Bram
Um,
Stoker is very old at this point, and
Oh yeah, he. Because
I just wanted to point out that the reason I was laughing so hard while you guys were trying to remember who all the characters were, and it's hilarious that Paprika brought up Kingdom Hearts because all I was thinking about while you guys were doing that is every breakdown video of Kingdom Hearts I've ever seen.
Yeah.
just a friendly reminder that the song "Simple and Clean" is the biggest fucking lie ever associated with Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who would like to take the next paragraph?
I'll go.
All right.
Lady Arabella sat as before at Edgar Caswell's right hand. She was certainly a striking and unusual woman, what being able to talk, and to all it seemed fitting from her rank and personal qualities that she should be the chosen partner of the heir of his first appearance. Of course, nothing was said openly by those of her own class who were present, but words were not necessary in polite company when so much could be expressed by nods and smiles. It seemed to be an accepted thing that at last there was to be a mistress of Castaregis, and that she was present amongst them. There were not lacking some who, whilst admitting all her charm and beauty, placed her in the second rank, Lila Watford being marked as first. There was sufficient divergence of type, as well as of individual beauty, to allow of fair comment. Lady Arabella represented the aristocratic type, and Lila that of the commonality.
So wait, are they trying to say that like the oldest sister of Mimi is also in the running to be?
Mrs. Caswell.
Yeah,
They're saying that
she's an eligible female.
she should be first, but she's not as pretty as her sister, so
Aw.
therefore she's of the commonality.
God.
The fuck?
Yike.
And by pretty, they mean young.
Yeah, because she's
of
just
childbearing age.
she's just over 20.
Because isn't Lady Arabella older?
I think
Wasn't she?
so.
Yeah. I could take the next one.
Okay.
When the dusk began to thicken, Mr. Salton and Sir Nathaniel walked home. The trap had been sent away early in the... I keep forgetting that a trap is a carriage.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay.
The trap had been sent away early in the day, leaving Adam to follow in his own time.
Have fun. Bye.
He came
Find
in.
your own way home.
He came in earlier than was expected and seemed upset about something. Neither of the elders made any comment. They all lit cigarettes and as dinner time was close at hand, went to their rooms to get ready. Wait, we're just gonna brush over. We had 2 paragraphs about this like party.
A white worm.
I love the idea of someone coming and saying, "Hey guys, I'm kind of upset about something." They'll just light up a cigarette and turn around and don't look at him.
They're angry that he stood him up at the party.
It's like
They're being passive aggressive because he dumped them for this younger woman.
It's just it's like
What about our old person / young man threesome we were going to do?
Oh.
I thought
You were super turned on by history.
I thought you were better than that, Adam.
This is the Manos, the Hands of Fate of books.
Alan, you are.
Yeah, I've got it. Adam had evidently been thinking in the interval. He joined the others in the drawing room, looking ruffled and impatient, a condition of things seen for the first time. The others, with the patience or the experience of age, trusted to time to unfold and explain things. So we're waiting for something to happen then.
They're waiting for the
Cool.
angsty kid to
Cool.
be angsty
Cool, book.
outwardly.
We're waiting for them to actually acknowledge the events happening in the story they're a part of so that we can eventually figure it out.
Right.
They had not long to wait. Really? Because it feels like it's been a long time. After sitting up, oh my God! After sitting down and standing up several times, Adam suddenly burst out.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't spend 3 paragraphs to say sitting up and standing down or whatever.
This is like that scene in It's Always Sunny where they go to church to ask God for help to cure Charlie's mom, and they're just like sitting up and standing down, and Charlie just starts like grabbing the pew and shaking it violently.
Who's still left?
The fellow seemed to think he owns the earth. He can't he let people alone? He seems to think he is only to throw his handkerchief to any woman and be her master.
I think this is the first time Adam has ever said anything that's not
About a mongoose?
well, or
about old
Who the
shit.
hell is he talking about?
or like he's actually being aggressive for once instead of complacent.
Or he seems to have his own thought.
Yeah, I know.
Instead of just being manipulated by old men with money.
This
Does he have his own
outburst.
thoughts? I mean,
don't
so
know.
far, he has Bram Stoker thoughts.
This is the first time he's had his own thought. No wonder he had to sit down and stand up several times. He's like, wait,
It's a new
actually
feeling.
thinking,
Yes,
actually,
he's never
First
done
time
this
he's
before.
experiencing this.
first
Doesn't know
time
what
as a
to
human
do.
being.
Oh my God. This outburst was in itself enlightening. Only thwarted affection in some guys could produce this feeling in an amiable young man. Sir Nathaniel, as an old diplomatist, had
Diplomat.
Diplomatist.
Diplomatist.
Or diplomatist?
That's my guess.
Diplomatist. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Had a way of understanding, as if by for knowledge, the true inwardness of things, and asked suddenly, but in a matter of fact, indifferent voice, was he after Lila?
I thought you were interested in Mimi. I thought he was
I don't know
interested
about
in
you
Mimi.
guys, but I'm bi for knowledge.
So
you want to learn math, or do you want to learn math? Or do you want to learn English? Both.
Yeah.
All right. What's he have to learn? Yes, and the fellow didn't lose any time either. Almost as soon as they met her, he began to butter her up and tell her how beautiful she was. Why didn't you say this earlier? Why are we talking about this? This could have been shown. Fuck. Why, before he left her side, he had asked himself to tea tomorrow at Mercy Farm. Stupid ass.
Oh my god.
Dumb motherfucker going to Mercy Farm for tea.
By the way, that's not just me saying stupid ass. That is in the book.
Amazing.
He might see that girl isn't his sort. I never saw anything like it. It was like a hawk and a pigeon. Wait, is he putting her down? I don't understand.
I'm confused.
Yeah, no,
I think everybody's insulted in this.
The dude.
So Adam wants the other girl who was talking to another guy?
I don't know.
Oh,
I thought he wanted me.
I'm trying to remember.
I thought he wanted me too. What's this whole
So why is he mad about
We're
Lila?
only 4 paragraphs in and we're confused.
I think
Also,
he wanted
the way this chapter is going, like he's probably just about to eventually say, "Oh, and also I saw a giant white worm."
It was ridiculous. The white worm had just ate somebody, and I couldn't even find a seat.
Sorry, I'm just scrolling up. Yeah, I'm confused because why is he so mad when he was clearly trying to court the younger sister?
I think he because the way that characters are introduced, like he saw Mimi and was like, oh, and then saw her daughters and went, oh, and like he doesn't know what he wants, but everyone's like, you gotta choose someone because you're the most eligible bachelor in all of England or something. And so like there's just all this is the problem with the story. There's just so much that's like not explained, and so our characters' actions don't have context. And we don't know why they think things that they think.
This is true.
All right, so let's keep going.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
I'm next.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, it's Abby, then you, then Alan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
As he spoke, Sir Nathaniel turned and looked at Mr. Sultan, a keen look which implied a full understanding of what no one knows. Tell us all about it, Adam. There are still a few minutes before. There's still a few chapters before dinner.
Now I get it. Mr. Stoker wrote himself a fanfic here.
Yes, this is just like this is his weird smut. And we shall all have better appetites when we have come to some conclusion on this matter. There is nothing to tell, sir. That is the worst of it. I am bound to say that there was not a word said that a human being could object to. He was very civil, and all that was proper, just what a landlord might to a tenant's daughter, ... Yet, well, I don't know how it was, but it made my blood boil. What are you 13?
What the fuck is happening?
I don't like it. He was talking to her.
Who?
I'm supposed to be the only bachelor. Me. I give the roses out.
The landlord?
This turned into a reality show.
I thought Lola was looking at me.
I'm supposed to be senpai.
I'm suddenly thinking of that bit from Alan will appreciate that bit from Kung Pao with "Don't look at me."
Yes.
Your turn, David.
How did the hawk and the pigeon come in? Sir Nathaniel's voice was soft and soothing, nothing of contradiction or overdone curiosity in it. A tone eminently suited to win confidence.
How did the hawk and pigeon come in? That was a metaphor, you dumb asshole. There's the hawk and pigeon. Are you listening to me?
I can hardly explain.
So a hawk and a pigeon are how you know that?
No, a little hawk and pigeon were there.
Keep going.
I can hardly explain. I can only say that he looked like a hawk and she like a dove. And now that I think of it, that is what they each did look like and do look like in their normal condition.
Do you think birds are people?
What are birds? We just don't know.
So wait, he's asking you to explain, what do you mean by hawk and pigeon? What fucking mean?
He should have just, this is in a goofier story, he would just look like, it's a metaphor, Sir Nathaniel. God. But here he literally just explains the metaphor.
I don't know. They just look like birds, and that pissed me off. I came back here, and everyone wouldn't talk to me because they were lighting cigarettes. The worst party I've ever been to.
Came the soft voice of Sir Nathaniel.
No,
I I also like that Sir Nathaniel was holding on to that for like a couple sentences.
They look like birds. Interesting. Maybe they are birds.
Like,
Stranger things have happened.
He let Adam go off a little bit more, and then finally was like, so back to them being birds.
It's like, and then it dawns on him, like, wait a minute, but like Sir Arabella's a snake, and that's why I got a mongoose. So maybe they really are animals, like legitimately animals.
This is going to turn into Animorphs.
He pulls Sir Nathaniel's mask off, and there's like, I don't know, an anteater underneath or something.
This would be a better movie book if it did turn into Animorphs, but
I'd be down.
Bram Stoker's Animorphs.
This would be better if it were Animorphs. Hey guys, let's read Animorphs instead.
Okay.
I'll reread the Hork-Bajir Chronicles. That book kicks ass.
We'd have to ask Kay Applegate, and more importantly, Kay Applegate's publisher.
Yeah.
This is in the public domain, so
Bram Stoker's
Well, this
dead.
is
Who
what
gives
you
a
get.
shit?
This is the public gallery of tragedy.
Okay.
I just want to point out, though, also while we're at it, Kay Applegate is rad as hell and like is a cool person, apparently. So
Cool.
just saying. Just want to acknowledge how cool Kay Applegate is.
So
She's awesome. Sorry, I just read ahead, and
Okay.
this gets
Well,
worse.
Who's next?
You?
Oh no,
Me?
Alan.
What was the last?
Adam went on.
Adam went on.
Adam went on.
Oh no.
Perhaps that early Roman look of his set me off.
Oh my god.
Fucking racist.
But I wanted to protect her. She seemed in danger. She seems in danger in a way from all of you young men. Couldn't help but noticing the way that even you looked as if you wished to absorb her.
Oh God.
Wasn't he obsessed with Mimi? What the fuck is this?
I don't know.
I hope both you young men will keep your heads cool. Put in Mr. Sultan. You know, Adam, it won't do to have any quarrel between you, especially so soon after his homecoming and your arrival here. We must think of the feelings and happiness of our neighbors, mustn't we?
How very British to keep your just keep your feelings inside. Don't express.
Keep your feelings inside and assume everybody is a hawk or a pigeon.
You are embarrassing me at this animal party. Keep it to yourself.
Oh, I hope so, sir. I assure you that whatever may happen or even threaten, I shall obey your wishes and all in this as in all things.
I am the most obeyable youth.
Oh, that's right. Our main
Obeying
character's
youth.
a robot.
Mhm.
First time he has an emotion, and his great uncle shuts that shit down. Hey,
No, that's not in
You
your
are
program.
That-
not
all it
allowed to
took.
think.
All it took was using the word we and say, now we can't be bad people, can we?
now would you kindly do this? Or...
Can we read a couple more? And just...
Yeah, go for it.
yeah.
Go for it.
Hush, whispered Sir Nathaniel, who heard the servants in the passage bringing dinner.
We can't let
No.
the help hear about this.
They'll start talking and talk to the help from the other families, and the neighbors will know all our shit. After dinner, over the walnuts and the wine,
Hold
Sir
on,
Nathaniel.
Sorry, have to write that down for cocktails.
Yeah, no, I was about to say that's great. That's
Walnuts
good.
and wine.
Next episode, walnuts and wine.
Like candied walnuts and some
Ooh.
wine. Yeah.
I could look up recipe for candy walnuts.
That's a very
Oh, it's fun to
British,
candy walnuts.
like a Christmas British tradition. It's like mulled wine and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll
Oh shit! Next
I feel like we have it right there. Like, I'm
make
set
mulled
with candied
I make
walnuts.
mulled wine.
Perfect.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we just found our next. What our next?
I'm down for that.
It
Yeah.
That would have
Perfect.
been
Boom.
perfect if the next one was for like December.
Well, I was gonna say
Yeah.
by the time we get to this again, it will be December. On time.
At which point we're gonna have to do a full episode of just us trying to recap and remember.
I'm gonna straight up go buy the Spark Notes on this. Just have it next to me when we read.
Oh man.
After dinner, over the walnuts and the wine, Sir Nathaniel returned to the subject of the local legends.
Oh no.
It will perhaps be a less dangerous topic for us to discuss than more recent ones.
All right, sir, said Adam heartily. No, I think you may depend on me now with regard to any topic. I can even discuss Mr. Caswall. Indeed, I may meet him tomorrow. He is going, as I said, to call at Mercy Farm at 3:00. But I have an appointment at 2.
Oh, because he's dating the other
They're both having a courtship.
Yeah.
He's mad at the
Rivalry.
other person's courtship because he
Again.
looked Roman.
God damn it.
Man, he only
Does
has an
he, like,
hour.
Not think.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Go ahead. Or you
I was just thinking, like, maybe he just doesn't, for racist reasons, doesn't think he should be suiting or courting her.
Can't
Yeah,
let those bloody Italians come up here. And
I definitely think it's for
shit.
racist reasons.
I notice, said Mr. Sultan, that you do not lose any time.
You're
two-
immortal.
The two old men once more looked at each other steadily. Then, lest the mood of his listener should change with delay, Sir Nathaniel began at once.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh no.
Good luck. You should take the next one.
Oh, this really, yeah. You know what? This is actually
Damn
Abby's. This is actually Abby's domain. Oh my fucking Christ! Yeah, this is Abby's domain. So
Do we want to? Do we? Okay. This upcoming paragraph that I know we're all looking at. Tag team rules. That's what I'm calling.
Yeah, you can tag in or tag out if you need to.
Okay.
All right. I don't propose to tell you all the legends of Mercia, at least until tomorrow, or even to make a selection of them. It will be better, I think, for our purpose if we consider a few facts, recorded or unrecorded, about this neighborhood. I think we might begin with Diana's Grove. It has its roots in the different epochs of our history, and each has its special crop of legend. The Druid and the Roman are too far off for matters of detail. But it seems to me the Saxon and the Angles are near enough to yield material for legendary lore. We find that this particular place had another name besides Diana's Grove. This was manifestly of Roman origin or of Grecian, accepted as Romans. Yeah, you know the Greeks when they went up to fucking England. The other is more pregnant of adventure and romance than the Roman name. You know, the word romance, which has Roman in it. In Mercian tongue, it was the Lair of the White Worm.
Oh shit!
Finally,
Oh shit!
5 chapters in.
Hold on. Sorry. And then Adam said, "The Lair of the White Worm. Don't tell that story. I hear it's really fucking boring."
No, not that one again, please. This needs a word of explanation at the beginning. I thought you were just doing that.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
I think that David takes over.
if you want.
We're almost at the end of the chapter, so I can do this. In the dawn of the language of the language, which
language?
Just
we
language,
mentioned
obviously.
5 different societies here. The word worm had a somewhat different meaning from that in use today. It was an adaptation of the Anglo-Saxon worm, W-Y-R-M, meaning a dragon or snake, or from the Gothic worms, a serpent, or the Icelandic ormur, or the German worm. We get it.
Fuck me.
We gather that
worm
it
hat?
conveyed originally an idea of size and power, not as
I'm
now
so
in the
angry.
diminutive of both these meanings.
Why are you angry, Alan?
I'm so mad. I'm so mad that we got to the chapter in this book called The White Worm. And it's literally a guy who's going to explain mythology.
Just an etymology. It's not even mythology.
Let me explain
So-
what a worm
I'm
is.
so angry.
Keep going, Gabby. Keep going.
Here, legendary history helps us. We have the well-known legend of the worm well of Lambton Castle and that of the Laidley worm of Spindleson Hube near In both these legends, the worm was a monster of vast size and power, a veritable dragon or serpent, such as legend attributes to vast fens or quags where there was illimitable show that whatever truth there may have been of the actuality of such monsters in the early geologic periods, or at least there was plains with a plentiful supply of water could gather, the streams...
Look, Olmec, just tell us where the fuck Blackbeard's map is so we can find it.
Death, where any kind of size of antediluvian monster could find a habitat. Places where now we can see from our windows where multiples of the monsters which flourished in slime came to an end. Must have been places. Such overlappings may have come greater longevity, even greater size, greater strength. Nay, we are not now creatures of the vastness of bulk, traces of animals, and not the animals themselves of possible size, veritable a dinosaur, a distinguished man in India who had the reputation of being a great lovely, and his elephant was crossing a nulla length. And as his elephant was crossing a nulla, on each side of the track, and though the weight which you drag the head as life may depend on it, thick round I can easily body. I suppose you know when you are after a tiger, it is a point of honor not spine, yeah. But I felt that I must not, so with regret I had to let it go.
I presume spine means like I was so point blank, I could have shot it in the spine and killed it.
What the fuck is the point of this paragraph?
This is
he saw something cool once.
I have people in my family who do this. Like they'll just say like, "Hey, you know, I have an important point about that," and they'll start off, but they'll go like way too far back, and then they'll just go off on a tangent. I talked to a dude in India once. Like none of this has anything to do with anything. Again, caves are big, therefore dragons probably existed. This dude in India shot a snake once. I don't know.
Sorry, I went and got a drink refill.
I did too.
I don't blame you.
I did too, happened. Like quarter of a way into that paragraph, and I came back and he was still only halfway.
Future David, I want you to like fade in and fade out random sentences so that like time is passing and we don't subject our audience to that entire paragraph.
I could probably do that. It's not important anyway.
So
just imagine.
It's supposed to be. It's titular.
Just imagine.
Sorry. I literally had like I feel like I had like an aneurysm for a split second there. Anyway, just imagine such a monster.
I don't remember having the decision to go up and get a drink. I feel like my body just went like, "Hey, go do something else."
It's like that sense the animals get when a tsunami is going to come and they just leave. Have a go.
Yeah. Just imagine such a monster anywhere in this country. And then once we could get a sort of idea of the worms, which possibly did frequent the great morasses, which spread round the mouths of many of the great European rivers. I have the least doubt, sir, that there may have been such monsters as you have spoken of still existing at much a later period than generally accepted, replied Adam. Also, if there were such things, that this was the very place for them. I've tried to think over the matter since you pointed out the configuration of the ground, but it seems to me there is a hiatus somewhere. Are there not mechanical difficulties? In what way?
And fuck everyone in this book.
So basically the idea of this is, hey, based off like the geological thing and legend, there's a chance there might be a big ass serpent/dragon thing still lurking around here.
Caves are big, so probably dragons.
Should I keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Wait, okay.
Well, our antique monster must have been mighty heavy, and the distances he had to travel were long and the ways difficult. From where we are now sitting down to the level of the mud holes is a distance of several hundred feet.
I'll throw you in a mud hole.
I'll stomp a fucking mud hole in your ass.
I am leaving out of consideration altogether any lateral distance. Is it possible that there was a way by which a monster could travel up and down, and yet no chance of recorder has ever seen him? Well, of course, we have all the legends, but is there not some more exact evidence necessary in a scientific investigation?
Last paragraph.
Okay.
You got this, Alan.
I'm gonna do this paragraph, and then I'm gonna have another snake-bitten mongoose.
Sounds good. We could probably get through the next chapter as well.
Luckily, there's no like long paragraphs in the next chapter.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of dialogue.
My dear Adam, all you say is perfectly right. And were we starting on such an investigation, we could do no better than to follow your reasoning. But, my dear boy, you must remember that all this took place thousands of years ago. You must remember, too, that all records of the kind would help us are lacking. Also, that the places to be considered were deserts. So far as desert. Deserted? Sure. Desert.
All of them are ice creams.
So far as human habitation or population are considered. And the vast desolation of such a place as complied with the necessary conditions, there must have been such profusion of natural growth as would bar the progress of men formed as we are. The lair of such
are flying spaghetti dragons. They exist because you can't see them.
Also, Adam, I don't want us to go look for a dragon.
I'm too old for this shit.
Scared. It sounds scary. I'm scared.
The lair.
The lair of such a monster would not have been disturbed for hundreds or thousands of years. Moreover, these creatures must have occupied places quite inaccessible to man, like the back of a Volkswagen. A snake who could make himself comfortable in a quagmire 100 feet deep would be protected on the outskirts by such stupendous morasses as now no longer exist,
More
or which,
asses.
if they exist anywhere at all, can be on very few places on the Earth's surface. Far be it from me to say that in more elemental times such things could not have been. The condition belongs to the geologic age, the great birth and growth of the world, when natural forces ran riot. When the struggle for existence was so savage that
he's
no
not
vitality,
wrong.
which was not founded in a gigantic form, could have even a possibility of survival. That such a time existed, we have evidence. I hate this. That such a time existed, we have evidences in geology, but they're only. We can never expect proofs such as this age demands. We can only imagine or surmise such things, or such conditions and such forces as overcame them.
I feel like
no,
So yeah,
we're
so
not
what's the
going
point
to
of this
go
book?
looking for a
so
dragon.
so basically what's happened is Adam's like, I'm pissed because this asshole is like trying to hit on this girl who I had no intention of hitting on, but I'm going to make it clear that I actually did want to hit on. And then his uncle is like, shut the fuck up. Let's talk about worms.
Shut up. Rocks.
Why are we
I'm going to lure you in.
This is
Shut
more
the fuck
important.
up. We're going to talk about giant worms. And then
Worms
Adam's
are
like,
more important
oh,
than romance.
giant worms do sound interesting. Let's go hunt one. And then he's like, no.
So what I gather is that this is what really matters, and the romance is very much the B story here.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
the point is that the romance is supposed to tie in because Lady
Sure.
Arabella is like
Yeah.
there's something supernatural going on about her.
Right,
Anyway,
but
hey,
real
I was
men,
right about this chapter, so I'm going to
Romance
sink
is
and
just
drink
on the
now.
side.
Oh my god.
Okay, good.
Oh my okay, this has to be like a back and forth between Sir Nathaniel and Adam, or like we need an Adam and an or
Didn't Paprika have a lovely like childish
Oh,
little
yes,
voice?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
right? Yeah.
I'll let y'all handle this one.
We also need an uncle and Sir Nathaniel.
I am this podcast drunk uncle, so I will take the uncle.
It's not
Okay.
even clear who's talking at which point though.
Yeah, or
Oh my god. It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. We could just go back.
We can go back and forth.
Like keep going. Oh wait, who's next? It would be
It's me.
okay.
At breakfast time next morning, Sir Nathaniel and Mr. Sultan were seated when Adam came hurriedly into the room.
So the party's done.
Also, this is chapter 6,
I
Hawk and
guess
Pigeon.
they had their nightcap and they went to bed.
Like,
Although
guess
I
so.
don't know why they didn't describe that in detail and make it another chapter. All right. Any news? Asked his uncle mechanically.
any news?
4.
For what? Asked Sir Nathaniel. Snakes, said Adam, helping himself to a grilled kidney. 4 snakes. I don't understand.
Neither do we.
Oh no.
Mongoose, said Adam, then adding explanatorily, I was out with the mongoose.
Hey Adam, what's up? Mongoose. Yes, Adam, you have a mongoose.
How many mongoose? 4 snakes.
I can only speak in one word sentences. Sorry.
What I'm trying to say is Mongoose 4, Snake 0.
Adam needs to be rebooted.
Adam, everything okay, buddy? Yeah, bicycle.
What's up? 4. What the fuck are you? 4 what? Snakes. 4 snakes. What the mongoose?
Yeah, grapes. Corpuscle.
Sentence fragments. Just phrases. And then adding explanatorily, I was out with the mongoose just after 3. 4 snakes in one morning.
What?
Basically,
Oh, okay.
because remember
All
the
right.
mongoose? He
Mongoose
just
caught a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, he caught a mongoose.
4 snakes in one morning. Why I didn't know there were so many on the brow. The local name for the western.
Jesus.
Just in case you didn't know. I hope that wasn't the consequence of our talk of last night.
It
What?
was, sir, but not.
Wait,
What?
I think it's Abby.
Oh, sorry.
It is. I'm just trying to process that. It's just like I hope that our discussion last night didn't send you on a snake genocide spree.
I found some snakes are just really small dragons.
Maybe they're like
You see,
panning.
the holes are smaller, so the worms are smaller.
They're looking for like I guess the most snaky snake by following a trail of snakes. Maybe.
It was, sir, but not directly. But God bless my soul, you didn't expect to get a snake like the lambtum worm, did you? Oh, okay. Why, a mongoose to tackle a monster like that, if there was one, would have to be bigger than a haystack. These were ordinary snakes, about as big as a walking stick. Well,
Okay,
it's pleasant
story?
to be rid of them. Big or little, that is a good mongoose, I'm sure. He'll clear out all such vermin around here, said Mr. Sultan.
All right, Story, you teased it, and now you have to deliver us at some point a giant mongoose.
If it doesn't end with Adam riding into battle on the back of a giant mongoose against the white worm, I'm going to be so pissed.
I want this imagery now.
If this doesn't end with a ghost in the form of a mongoose, I'm going to be very sad too.
Yes.
I think it's your turn, David.
Is it?
Yes,
Adam
Adam.
went quietly on with his breakfast. Killing a few snakes in a morning was no new experience for him. He left the room the moment breakfast was finished and went to the study that his uncle had arranged for him. Both Sir Nathaniel and Mr. Sultan took it that he wanted to be by himself, so as to avoid any questioning or talk of his visit he was about to make that afternoon. They saw nothing further of him till about half an hour before dinner time. Then he came quietly into the smoking room, where Mr. Sultan and Sir Nathaniel were sitting together, ready dressed.
I did get your reference to Eighth Wonder. Just
Thank you.
so
Thank
know.
you. I appreciate that. I figured someone might, and if anyone, it would be you. Thank you, Alan. I suppose there is no waiting. We were not going to get the visit to Mercy Farm. Of course we're
No,
not.
he's just gonna
Yeah.
tell us about it.
You're going to tell us about it because nothing can be shown. It all has to be told.
Right,
Yep.
but it hasn't happened yet.
No, it happened.
No, it happened. It already
what?
happened.
Wait,
As of like the last two like in that last paragraph.
No,
happened.
it said that
They saw nothing further of him until about half an hour before dinner time.
Yeah.
And he
Okay.
came back, and this is what happened.
Okay, I'm going to say something in defense of this story. In
Why?
defense of this story, okay, I think
Why?
I think a really fucking great movie would be like if it's like an ordinary day where people are like talking at the diner or something, but like in all their dialogue at the diner, you find out that this was like maybe a couple days after like the plot of a Godzilla movie resolved. So
I feel like the only way I'd enjoy any movie made like this is if Tommy Wiseau did it.
Well, there is the comedic satirizing take called Lair of the White Worm that I have to watch after we read this.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
It
I-
didn't
I-
exist.
That's how we end this.
Yeah, we're going to be
Yes.
watching Lair of the White Worm and discussing it, a la how we discussed other previous movies.
Yeah. I suppose there is no use waiting. We had better get it over at once, remarked Adam. His uncle, thinking to make things easier for him, said, "Get what over?" There was a sign of shyness about him at this. He stammered a little at first, but his voice became more even as he went on. My visit to Mercy Farm.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe you don't take dinner after 2:00. Maybe they mean lunch.
What about second dinner?
Yeah, because he hadn't made it yet, or he's about to talk about it.
He's about to talk about it before. He's about to talk about it before
okay.
dinner, I think.
All right, all
We
right.
have to initiate the talking about of first before we.
Yeah,
talk
we can't
about it.
experience something. We have to talk about it.
right.
Yeah, that's the whole
Right.
point. We're gonna hear about it secondhand
Okay.
now.
So whose turn is it?
Yours.
It's I thought it was
I'm after Alan.
Oh, then
Where are we?
my
My
visit to
visit.
Mercy Farm. After that,
Mr. Sultan waited eagerly. The old diplomatist simply smiled. I suppose you both know that I was much interested yesterday in the Watfords. There was no denial or fending off the question. Both the old men smiled acquiescence.
I used to play bass for Acquiescence.
I just like that. It's like Adam was about to talk. Adam decides he's going to talk about Mercy Farm, and the old man smiled acquiescence. Like, yep, just fucking say it, dude. Get it over with.
Come on. Sound like waxing poetic, smiling acquiescence.
Adam went on. I meant, you see it, I meant you see you to. I meant you to see it, both of you. You, uncle, because you are my uncle and the nearest of my own kin.
No
moreover,
shit.
You couldn't have been more kind to me or made me more welcome if you had been my own father or
God,
lover or
we
father.
know
I mean,
this.
Father.
We
I
know
meant
this.
to say father. Mr. Sultan and said nothing. He simply held out his hand, and the other took it and held it for a few seconds. And you, sir, because you have shown me something of the same affection, which in my wildest dreams of home I had no right to expect. He stopped for an instant, much moved.
And Adam said, I'm going back to Australia.
This place is insane.
leaving.
I have to get out.
Nothing happens. Okay. Sir Nathaniel answered softly, laying his hand on the youth's shoulder.
It's gonna get gay again.
You are right, my boy. Quite right. I am. That was so awesome. That is the proper way to look at it. Respect your elders. And I may tell you that we old men have no children of our own. Feel our hearts growing warm when we hear words like those. Then Adam hurried on, speaking with a rush as if he wanted to come to the crucial point.
It's very important that I praise these old men because Bram Stoker is really trying to make how important it is that Adam is a good person because he praises the old men.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they got mad at me last time when I ditched him at the party.
Yeah.
So if I don't want them to ignore me again.
This is just his weird, like, wishful thinking. Just like, man, it'd be awesome if all the young people just like constantly stopped at my house and said how cool I am. So weird.
Okay. Mr. Watford had not come in, but Lila and Mimi were at home, and they made me feel very welcome. They made
me feel like I could pick between either of them.
Oh, man.
Two ladies.
I had one under each arm. They all have a great regard for my uncle.
Two noble English women go round the outside.
I am glad of that anyway, for I like them all much. We were having tea when Mr. Caswell came to the door, attended by a person of color. Lila opened the door herself. The window of the living room at the farm is a large one, and from within cannot help seeing anyone coming. Mr. Caswell said he had ventured to call as he wished to make the acquaintance of all his tenants in a less formal way and more individually than had been possible to him on the previous day. The girls made him welcome. They are very sweet girls, those. Sir, someone will be very happy someday by there with either of them.
Or with both of them. I want to be that guy.
Yeah. And that may be you, Adam, said Mr.
If you have enough money.
And that man may be you, Adam, said Mr. Sultan heartily. A sad look came over the young man's eyes. Ah, shit. And the fire his uncle had seen there died out. Likewise, the timbre left his voice, making it sound lonely.
I peed myself in front of them, and that was it. It was over.
That would be the case.
Oh boy, here comes
but after I arrived, I immediately said, "You guys know where to find the big snake?"
The mongoose jumped up on the table and knocked everything over. I haven't trained it yet.
Such might crown my life, but that happiness I fear is not for me, or not without pain and loss and woe. Well, it's early days yet, cried Nathaniel heartily.
Well, this turned to a Shakespearean play. The young man turned on him his eyes, which had now grown excessively sad. He was very, very sad. Yesterday, a few hours ago, that remark would have given me new hope. This is so fucking emo. New courage. But since then, I have learned too much. The old man, skilled in the human heart, did not attempt to argue in such a matter. Too early to
Of course, these old men understand human hearts very well.
You probably don't even have human hearts anymore.
There's
Too
gave out
early.
a long time ago.
to give in, my boy. I am not of a giving in kind, replied the young man earnestly. But after all, it is wise to realize a truth. And when a man, though he is young, feels as I do, as I have felt ever since yesterday, when I first saw Mimi's eyes. What? Okay, so you are going for Mimi. Whatever.
So he's either gay or a serial killer.
There was silence in the room, during which the twilight stole on imperceptibly. It was Adam who again broke the silence. Do you know, Uncle, if we have any second sight in our family?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Apparently now we are entertaining the idea of psychic abilities. No, not that I ever heard about. Why?
No, I'm sorry. What?
The story can't handle this too.
What?
I went over and I had a vision. And both of them were snakes. It was terrible.
Hold on. No, I'm sorry. I don't think I missed very much.
No.
But
he can't have women because he saw the future, I think.
Yeah.
So, you know how like in the middle of a conversation, you're occasionally just like, hey, does anyone in our family know how to fly?
Are any of us vampires? I kind of think I'm a vampire.
Because what?
Oh boy.
What?
Okay, keep going because I need.
Yeah, okay. Because, he answered slowly, I have a conviction which seems to answer all the conditions of second sight.
Excuse me?
And then, asked the old man, much perturbed.
Yes.
And
What?
and then the usual inevitable. What in the Hebrides and other places where the site is occult, a belief is called the doom, the court from which there is no appeal. I have often heard of second sight. We have many Western Scots in Australia, but I have realized more of its true inwardness is an instant of this afternoon than I did in the whole of my life previously.
Does Bram Stoker think that the Scottish are all psychic? We have a lot of Scots in Australia, and frankly, they're all psychic.
Only Hebridean Scots, I guess.
What the fuck?
Hebridean.
Go ahead, finish this.
A granite wall stretching up to the very heavens, so high and so dark that the eye of God himself cannot see beyond. Well, if the doom must come, it must.
Wait, so he had a vision of the Tower of Doom.
So, or you're basically saying that he saw into the future and saw a barrier that couldn't show him the future.
I saw the future because I couldn't see.
I don't know. What?
Alan.
What?
I'm reading ahead a little. And
I know.
Fuck?
What did he
going
see?
on now?
Who goes after David?
Alan.
You. No.
Oh, wait. No, it's.
No, it is Alan.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
Alan Paprika than me.
Yes.
Okay. What?
I know. This just threw us another curveball. Like,
Okay,
what
it's
the
like,
fuck?
hey, do you believe in premonition people? Do we have premonitions in our family? No. Why the fuck would you say that? Because they had a premonition.
A giant wall.
Imagine if you've been watching the worst episode of Frasier. That's like 9 hours long, and then like 9 hours in, Niles is just like, "Hey, anyone here psychic?" The voice of Sir Nathaniel broke in, smooth and sweet and grave. Can there not be a fight for it? There can for most things. For most things, yes, but for the doom, no. What a man can do, I shall do. There will be, must be, a fight. When and where and how, I know not, but a fight there will be. But after all, what is a man in such a case?
A miserable little
What was in their tea?
So, okay. So he went to call. Okay, to try to translate this to modern times. Hey, son, how was your date? I saw the future. What? We're all gonna die. What? Don't worry, I got it. That's this conversation. Did he like trip and fall and hit his head?
Adam.
Did he get bit by the mongoose and contract some sort of disease?
Does he have rabies? Is this so?
Adam, there are three of us. Sultan looked at his old friend as he spoke. And that old friend's eyes blaze.
With an eldritch power, it melted Adam on the spot.
Aye, 3 of us, he said, his voice rang. There was again a pause, and Sir Nathaniel endeavored to get back to the less emotional and more neutral ground. Tell us of the rest of the meeting. Remember, we are all pledged to this. We are?
We are.
So,
It is a
So what?
fight a la outron.
his vague
A
pronunciation.
l'outron.
Okay, à la outran.
Is that how you say it?
I think
Sure,
so.
whatever.
I think you're right.
And we can afford to throw away or forego no chance. We shall throw away or lose nothing that we can help. We fight to win, and the stake is a life. Perhaps more than one, we shall see. Perhaps Lola and Mila will die instead.
Why are we entertaining this? Like,
Don't play into the teenage kids' angsty dreams, please. Then he went on in a controversial tone, such as he had used when he spoke of the coming to the farm of Edgar Caswell. When Mr. Caswell came in, the person of African descent went a short distance away and there remained. It gave me the idea that he expected to be called and intended to remain in sight or within hail. Then Mimi got another cup and made fresh tea, and we all went on together.
What is happening?
This
Is
just
it-
went
is
from
it
like
maybe
I've
right,
got,
like-
He's describing calling on the women's.
I know, but it was just like I think I have psychic powers, and there's a great the apocalypse is coming.
And it's because
Okay.
Okay,
of
is
the
he
tea.
saying?
How'd the rest
is
of the
he saying
date
that he
go?
like saw a vision of the apocalypse, or he's just saying?
No,
he
I think they're
saw-
saying the servant
like-
gave them peyote or something.
It's a vague premonition of doom, and they're just committed to saying, we'll help you fight the doom. Now tell us, just to get you to stop talking crazy. Now let's get back to the fucking date. Give us
Okay,
the
but
hot
is this
goss.
doom? Is this doom like
Lame.
actual doom, apocalypse doom, or
It's
does he mean like
capitalized.
my attempts at courting?
No, I think this is
ladies
more
of
like
doom?
incel doom.
God.
It's my favorite DLC.
Was there anything uncommon? Were you all quite friendly? Asked Sir Nathaniel quietly. Quite friendly. There was nothing that I could notice out of the common, except, he went on with a slight hardening of the voice, except that he kept his eyes fixed on Lila, in a way which was quite intolerable to any man who might hold her dear. Now, in what way did he look? Asked Sir Nathaniel. There was nothing in itself offensive, but no one could help noticing it.
You did. Miss Watford herself,
This-
who was the victim, and Mr.
I'm-
Croswell. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just gonna take this moment to sink and drink another snake bitten mongoose,
Yeah,
if that's
go
okay
for
with
it.
everybody.
You're
That
good with
is
that.
indeed.
Oh,
All right.
I understand.
We should time it.
Sink it and drink it.
2, 3,
1,
4, 5,
2,
6, 7,
3.
8, 9.
Done.
4. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Like 3.5 seconds.
There you go.
Bravo. You good?
I'm great.
Uh,
Those are goddamn delicious.
Are you seeing a wall of impenetrable doom?
you
Not
did.
yet.
I mean, that is something. If someone was drunk at a bar, I would expect them to say. I
Right?
think. Are any of us psychic?
Do we have psychics in our family? No. Why?
Every time I close my eyes to see just a wall of black, it's terrible. Open your eyes. Oh, okay, there we go.
All right. You did. Miss Watford herself, who was the victim, and Mr. Coswell, who was the offender, are out of range as witnesses. Was there anyone else who noticed? Mimi did. Her face flamed with anger as she saw the look. What kind of look was it? Over ardent or too admiring or what? Yeah, I'm still wondering this too. Was it the look of a lover or one who fain would be? You understand? Yes, sir. I quite understand. Anything of that sort I should, of course, notice. It would be a part of my preparation for keeping my self-control, to which I am pledged. You still haven't answered the fucking question. What was this fucking look?
So
Literally,
Adam,
he looked at
Adam
her,
went
and I
to
didn't like
having
it.
no discernible character whatsoever to being fucking B nanners.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do we have any psychics in our family? No, but we do have early onset dementia.
Yes. You bark at them snakes.
If it were not amatory, was it threatening? Where was the offense? The entire audience wanted to know. Adam smiled kindly at the old man. It was not amatory. Even if it was, such was to be expected. I should be the last man in the world to object, since I am myself an offender in that respect. Moreover, not only have I been taught to fight fair, but by nature I believe I am just. I would be as tolerant of and as liberal to a rival as I should expect him to be. No, the look I mean was nothing of that kind. And so long as it did not lack proper respect, I should not, of my own part condescend to notice it. What the fuck was it? Did you ever study the eyes of a hound?
Who studies what?
You ever just stare at dogs?
I mean, yes.
Have you ever looked deep into a dog's eyes?
You ever pet a little dog's hair? You like your pasta spinny or bow tie?
You ever been to a Turkish bathhouse?
Ever seen a grown man naked?
I feel like I'm in a comedy.
I love that I love that I went from Live Forever As You Are Now, and you guys turned it into Airplane.
Yeah.
Is David next?
I think it is.
Yeah. Just finish this.
At rest?
Hey, Loretta, shut the hell up.
Have you look into her eyes and tell me what you see? At rest? No, when he is following his instincts. Or better still, Adam went on, the eyes of a bird of prey when he is following his instincts.
I swear he's a bird. They're all birds.
Wait, I thought the story was about worms. Why are we talking about birds?
Birds are worms with wings.
He's mixing his metaphors. He's like, have you ever seen the eyes of a dog?
It depends on which bird we're talking about. If we're talking about the early bird, I've got news for you when it comes to the worm.
Dragons are just flying worms, and therefore birds are dragons.
It's like, have you ever seen the eyes of a dog? Eyes of a dog? Well, he had eyes like a bird.
Ponder, if you will, lettuce and shrimp.
No, not when he is swooping, but merely when he is watching his quarry. No, said Sir Nathaniel. I don't know that I ever did. Why, may I ask? That was the look. Certainly not amatory or anything of that kind. Yet it struck me more dangerous, if not so deadly as an actual threatening. Again, there was a silence, which Sir Nathaniel broke.
She would have noticed if this guy was looking at her like that.
Yeah, seriously.
And probably been like, help?
Yeah.
Can I help you?
Again, there was a silence, which Sir Nathaniel broke as he stood up. I think it would be well if we all thought over this by ourselves.
God.
I'm leaving now.
Then we can renew the subject. But for now,
talking about
I'm out.
this.
Fuck this. This is crazy. I'm leaving.
Holy
he went to
shit.
call the local doctor.
You need to lay down.
This went from like, I have psychic powers, I see impending doom. Oh, I don't give a shit about that. What about the date? Oh, well, he gave her a look. What kind of look? Well, he gave her a look. What kind of look? Well, have you ever seen the eyes of a dog? What do you mean? Well, he had the eyes of a bird of prey.
Wait, why did you bring up the eyes of the prey? That was the look. What was the look? The guy that had the. God damn it.
Okay, maybe the thing about precognition was exaggeration, and he's just being super teenage emo, and he's just being dramatic, because none of this fits.
No.
What the fuck?
Again, this man wrote Dracula.
I think, did he just like do a bunch of Mercury and like...
Mercury?
And then write this shit?
This was published years after he published Dracula. But then again, he was 50 when Dracula was published. So
it's a raving sip of madman.
He really is at this point. Oh God. Should we call it here?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm just gonna keep
I guess.
I mean, the next chapter, I'm gonna need to look it over because
chapter 7 Todd.
We might need to skip it. Because
I don't think books really work if you skip chapters.
Well,
we can summarize it and probably just
if
say,
we need
nothing
to,
happened.
maybe we can just write a quick little summary that we just start with and then move on.
Guys, here's what I'm going to propose to you now. I will read this chapter ahead of time on my own,
Okay.
and I am going to make edits that we are going to read.
Oh
Okay.
shit! Yeah. Okay.
I
can.
Okay.
I can agree to
So
that.
the reason why is because this chapter is titled Oolanga, and I'm already looking ahead.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's called Todd.
It's called Todd.
Exactly.
And
Todd Howard.
I'm starting to see some. I feel like this is going to be a very racist chapter.
It's not. It's going to
Okay.
be fine.
Okay.
It's going to be fine. By the time we read this again, it'll be fine.
Okay. I trust you, Alan.
Okay. That's probably a mistake on your part, but it'll be fine. I have a renewed interest in this just because of the last chapter. The last chapter in which our main character comes back to describe a date and has gone fucking crazy.
We just have to remember, like, again, I think our takeaway from this is like, we're not the ones, we're pointing out the parts of the story that are bonkers and the parts of the story that are utterly shitty.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's how information is shared in the story makes no sense.
no,
It's so
exactly. This is
up-
utterly
It's
baffling.
unfollowable.
Up until this point, Adam has been a complete nothing of a character.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden he shows up and he's like, I'm gonna hunt dragons with my mongoose. Also, is my dad psychic?
Yeah.
Also, have you ever looked at a dog? But, well, he had eyes like a dog, except not like a dog. They were like a bird.
Oh, let's not forget he began this chapter. It's like, how are you doing? How are you doing, Adam? 4.
Mongoose.
Did Adam,
Snakes.
did,
Mongoose.
did Adam do Molly?
That's what I'm saying. This reads like someone just like dropped something.
Yeah, honestly, I want to keep going. I want to see how far we can take this before we utterly lose our fucking minds.
Yeah. Oh my god.
This really is one of the worst things I've ever read.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so terrible. Like, and it's not just because, I've read books during this time period. There's some beautiful writing,
Right?
Mhm.
Hell, Dracula is actually a really good book. I don't know what
And-
the fuck this shit is.
And like, as much as this, like, okay, the argument that certain things are a product of their time, and there are definitely very problematic things in this story.
Yes.
We're gonna do our best to like talk around them,
Yeah.
but you know, we didn't write this.
Yeah.
No.
No, I don't take any responsibility for it.
Yeah.
It's kind of shedding a light on history in that Bram Stoker wrote a bunch of racist shit.
Yeah.
So that's why we have no problem tearing this thing apart and saying, fuck him.
Yeah. Fuck Bram Stoker's
Fuck.
old dead racist ass.
Yeah, exactly. We established it last episode. We're reestablishing it this episode. And
Well,
definitely next episode when we talk
considering-
about
What I will say, and maybe I'm not saying let's stop it, just generally speaking, I don't know what we're going to get out of this meandering monologue of a story. Like,
Are we-
Entertainment value.
Yeah, well, the question is, the most important
like
question.
of historical value. So far I don't see a whole lot.
But the funny
Well, there's not,
here's
but-
the weird part. I read the summary for this, and the summary was buck wild. Like I'm waiting for a part. Okay, apparently mesmerism is supposed to play a part in this book.
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
Oh.
Oh god.
So I'm like, where's that shit?
Well, I'm now that telepathy hath been dropped. I'm sure it's coming up
No.
soon.
I
Just
feel like
because-
there's just going to be a sentence somewhere that says, and then they were mesmerized.
And then the
Next
mesmerist walked
subject.
in and was like, "Don't worry, chaps, I've got this."
My thought with this is, first of all, are we having fun getting together and reading this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Generally
Oh, yeah.
speaking, yeah.
I also want to say that like in the flavorless gruel porridge that this story has been, the sudden introduction of psychic powers is like someone dropped like a cube of chicken stock into my gruel, and yeah, it's delicious.
I think they dropped a cube of Special K.
Yeah.
It's more what it feels like.
Whatever they put in there, I can taste colors now, and I am tasting the rainbow, motherfuckers. Yum, yum.
No, I want to continue.
I also want to continue no matter how weird it gets, because like here's the thing, we can pace this for ages. The writing can be boring, but then curveballs get thrown at us like this, and I'm just having fun getting to go hog wild on a story for a change and be able to just be like, just what the fuck? Like this isn't about improving the craft. This is about let's make fun of one of the worst horror novels ever written.
Yeah. This chapter has been like Dostoevsky's work is very, very dry and bland. And just like in the middle, like the seventh chapter of a Dostoevsky story, a character just bursts into the room. Is like, yo, I got aliens in my penis. I have an Alan recommends.
Yeah. Oh, I want to hear the Alan recommends.
Okay. Alan recommends Alan recommends an album by Incubus. Called Science from 1997. It was before their big album that got them a bunch of radio play. And it's really, really crazy instrumentally. Like the first instrument on the album is a didgeridoo.
Nice.
And but it's also the lead singer Brandon Boyd, without coming right out and saying it, telling all of us, I really, really, really fucking love Mike Patton. And it kind of sounds like, some of it sounds like Faith No More, some of it sounds like Mr. Bungle. It all sounds very, very experimental. And I fully recommend it. I've been listening to it on repeat.
That is a good ass recommendation.
The day will come.
Now I'm gonna sink and drink another snake bitten mongoose.
Yeah.
The day will come when I'll be able to sing "quote unquote" by Mr. Bungle in karaoke. I have to work up to that, but it's going to be the most like batshit crazy performance of my life.
I'm sure. Still, I want to be there to hear it when it happens. Hey, thanks for bearing with us again and bearing with us through the discussion. And you know, the important part is not just are we enjoying it, but are you enjoying it? After all, we're breaking up this saga every so often, so we're not going to get burnt out on it. I think this is something we will revisit every so often, but again, only if y'all are interested. We're interested because it gives us an excuse to all get together and just scratch our heads, basically.
Also, I'm now challenged to come up with a springtime mulled wine.
Oh,
that's right.
I will join you for when you make that.
Yes.
Even just call it mulled wine in springtime.
I could do that, or I could come up with the title related to the story,
or just name it 4.
Just name it 4.
4. Period. Snakes. Period. Mongoose. Period.
Shrimp heaven now.
Name it the question, is anyone in your family psychic? Someone says, hey, what do you recommend? Is anyone in your family psychic? I'm sorry, what? Just hand it the drink.
Do we have second sight?
Ooh, second sight is a good ass cocktail name.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Like, it's too good for the way that has been used in this story, though.
Yeah.
But it has to be strong, so it'll have you seeing double.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
All right, gang. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard here, you could always go and listen to the previous episodes of UCA, or you can check out the other fine podcasts provided by the Creative Horror Network, including The Witching Hour and Darkly Lit and Midnight Marinera and Trick or Track and other wonderful shows. I think that's most of them, though.
Night, everyone. And
Bye.
Ask your parents if you
I'm drunk.
Also, ask your parents if your family has second sight. See what they say.
Go on a date and then report back to them.
Good way to get yourself diagnosed.
Bring a mongoose on a date and see how it goes.
Good evening, intrepid listeners. This is the Pasta Shade, the host of Midnight Marinera, and this podcast is part of CreativeHorror.com, a network of podcasts and creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. For more content like this, visit us at CreativeHorror.com.